So the reality of this little experiment is actually starting to kick in right about now. No tent, no sleeping bag. I've got my bivvy. I haven't gotten it out yet. I'm thinking about getting it out before it gets too dark so I can kind of see what I'm doing. So yeah, the real test actually begins. It's getting dark, and I'm going to do my best to stay warm and try to make it through the night. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for watching. Matt here. Well, I'm just going to jump to it. I'm breathing a little heavy because I'm doing a day hike. So, what's my plan? I'm going to practice what I preach. I'm currently hiking South Fork Trail. Day hike destination is Dry Lake here in the San Gorgonio Wilderness. But like I said, I'm going to practice what I preach. And that is, I'm always telling people, especially my scouts, when you go out for a day hike, breathing hard, it's uphill. When you go out for a day hike, you need to be prepared because you never know what's going to happen. You could get caught in a storm, get hurt, get lost, and chances are you might have to spend the night. So, well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm spending the night tonight. I don't have a sleeping bag, don't have a tent. I've got my day pack. Later on, I'll show you what I carry on a typical day hike. If you can see, probably right now, I always carry a GPS tracker, Garmin InReach Mini, also a ham radio operator. That's my HT. My call sign's KN6MAT, Kilo November 6 Mike Alpha Tango. And I'm going to also show you forms of communication. So let's get going. Talk to you later. I just got a little tidbit of information from a couple of backpackers that spent the night at Dry Lake. They said temperature was roughly about 40 to 44 degrees, a little bit of a breeze, and stars were amazing. They heard a couple of dogs, could have been coyotes, saw a deer and a mama bear, and a couple of cubs were spotted where I'm going to be bunkering down for the night. So that's going to make things a little interesting. It's cool to see them in their natural habitat, but it is wildlife, so you definitely got to be careful. In last 20 years or so of backpacking, I've had 3 encounters with bears. 2 of them here in the San Gorgonio Wilderness, and 1 up in the Mammoth area, Mammoth Duck Pass. All right, talk to you later. Coming through here, we're not that deep, but I wanted to show you this kind of a cool little area. This is a relatively new section of trail, but this is the site of an avalanche that happened probably about 10-15 years ago, maybe even a little bit longer now. But I was here actually not too long after it happened, in the middle of winter. I don't know if you can see that up there, but all of them trees are gone. It looks like a nice clean section of trail, but the avalanche ripped out all the trees and debris from the top of that hill right up there all the way down, all the way continuing down into here. Now you could see there was a lot of growth has come in, so it is getting harder to spot on your left hand side. But when you look up and to your right, you definitely can see, I'm about right in the middle of it right now, you can definitely see the path of the avalanche that happened about 15 years ago. Cool little area, cool little spot. It was even more cool to see it when right after it happened, seeing the way the trees looked. There's one of the down trees right there. Down tree up there. You can still see the debris. Not so much on the left hand side though. Alright, so as you know, like I told you, I'm coming up here for a day hike. with the emphasis of actually spending the night with just my day hiking gear. And what am I going to bring extra? Well, I'm not going to bring anything extra. You don't see, I don't have a sleeping bag or a tent off camera or stuffed in my backpack to hide it from you guys. You'll see everything that I have on me that I'm going to utilize tonight to stay warm as much as I can, with temperatures dropping probably within the low 40s. But as far as what I'm wearing right now, I've got, obviously my sun hat, my sunglasses, which are prescription. I need those to see. The older you get, the more blind as a bat you become. I like these Columbia shirts, the button-ups. They've got sleeves that are long sleeve, short sleeve. I always start hiking with them rolled up because I'm not cold unless it's winter time. I will have them rolled down. As far as today goes, it's a nice day, so I do not have a base layer underneath. These shirts are quick dry and SPF like 50 or something like that. I don't know what the number is. So it does dry relatively quick with the sweat. And pants, Columbia hiking pants, same. It's quick dry, and I can unzip them if I get too hot. And my hikers, the New Balance hikers, nothing special, nothing fancy. They're waterproof. I prefer waterproof boots. They're mid-high. They're not low top. I don't like low top because you could twist an ankle and that'll kind of ruin your afternoon. Socks, I do the 2-layer system. I got the thin layer on the inside, and it's like a wool sock. It's a mild blend 3-season. So they do the same thing. They dry relatively quick. And one thing I'd like to, big importance, don't wear cotton. The old saying that cotton kills, that's 100% right. You sweat in cotton, it's going to stay wet all day, all night. And when it's 35, 40 degrees out here, and you got a wet back or wet feet from the cotton staying wet, that's my HT. I have it turned on right now. I'm just doing a little bit of monitoring. Also monitoring for the wilderness protocol on a 2-meter national call frequency at 146.520. I'll explain that a little bit later too, and why it's important. The reason why it's important to have communication here in the backcountry, so I could, reach out for help if I had to. Same goes with my inReach. I already sent a preset message to my wife and mom, my family, letting them know exactly where I'm at on my little adventure today. But all in all, so far so good. Good and healthy amount of people on trail today. And well, that's it for now. See you up trail. Alright guys, well, I can hear South Fork Meadows to my left, over my left shoulder. I've got a short ways to get there. Got a good little hill to climb before I sit down and take a break, have a sandwich, and check my water supply. But in the meantime, as you probably already saw, like what I've told, I got kind of a couple of little techie items on me. I got my Garmin inReach Mini. It's a global satellite communicator. Everyone knows where I'm at when I send preset messages out. I can individually text my wife through the Iridium satellite system. I've got my ham radio. Like I said, my call sign is KN6MAT, Kilo November 6 Mike Alpha Tango. My HT, it's a Yaesu VX6R. It's a rugged radio, quite durable. It is waterproof, but I've never tested it. I don't want to, but I wanted a radio that was durable for backcountry travel. The little floppy antenna on the top is a super elastic signal stick. Great little antenna. What I like about it is it bends. I could tie it in a knot. They're only about 20 bucks. When you buy it online, it actually gets shipped to you in a knot. So great for out here if you're going up and over things. It's not going to break or bend. It goes right back. I also, if you could see that, I have a Garmin Fenix 3 HR. Helps me navigate. It's electronic, so it's reliable but not reliable. You know, it could die or break, be inaccurate, but it has some cool features. Map, digital compass, barometric pressure, temperature. I've got the temperature gauge on my shoe, so it'll give me ambient temperature. Actually pretty good, pretty accurate. Best thing to rely on, what I always keep in my pocket. I just heard something move in the brush down there or behind me. I don't see nothing, but I heard something. It could have been a deer. But map, you gotta have it. You're back here enough, you need to learn how to read a map. You gotta have map and compass on you. Sit there, look at it at home, figure out where you're going, what you're doing, where you need to stop. Then take it out every so often on the trail and read the map to the hillside. Learn how to read the contour lines. And this is gonna get you out. Not your watch or not this necessarily. But you know where you are on the map. You're gonna eventually find your way to your destination and find your way home. Okay, so here we are. South Fork Meadows. I'm gonna go ahead and take a break right here and check my water and have a snack. So I just left South Fork Creek. I didn't need to fill up because I got plenty of water, probably at least 70 ounces left. But ran into the ranger. He assured me that yeah, there is a bear, a couple of cubs. He did not see it, but a handful of other people did. So just something I got to keep an eye out for. So back on trail here, I've got about 2 miles to go, just slightly under 2 miles. I'm crossing the last creek section before I hit the switchbacks, before eventually working my way up back in there. So about 2 miles to go before I hit my destination. I'm moving along. Something I wanted to touch bases on that I actually forgot to get on me, only because I need to stop and do this. Only because I was more worried about making the video. A lot on your mind doing a video, but something I forgot to do, which you should do, is always carry your whistle around your neck. Why, you're wondering? This is my case scenario. Why it's good to carry a whistle around your neck. Say you put your backpack down, you slip, you fall, you get hurt. You can't reach your backpack because you're injured, or you simply lose your backpack. And especially if you're injured, you're going to be sitting there and you're going to be screaming, help, help, help. And after a while, you're going to lose your voice. And that's no fun when you're in desperate need for help in an emergency situation. So the whistle, effortless. You can get any whistle. I prefer one of the better ones. This is a Jetstream. They run about, I don't know, 8, 10, 12 bucks. Completely waterproof. It doesn't have one of those little balls in there. And it's extremely loud. And I'll show you later, but there's quite a few people on trail right now, so don't really want to ruin their experience. So I'm going to keep it quiet, but 3 short bursts every so often is what you're going to need to do if you ever needed help. You know, someone's going to eventually hear it and blow those nice and hard, and that will travel quite far when it echoes through these mountains. Someone can hear you a couple miles away maybe. So yeah, always keep your whistle around your neck. I got my whistle, my compass, and my fire striker. I like having my compass around my neck just in case I gotta pull up, check my direction real quick. All right, there we go, just traveling along. All right, well, I'm getting close to a dry lake, but just wanted to say that I knew it was bound to happen, but I ran into two people unprepared. Here we are, almost 6 miles deep here in the San Gorgonio wilderness, up near elevation of about 9,000 feet, and between two hikers, one backpack. And the one without a backpack had a bag of snacks and a small water bottle. That's not gonna cut it. You know, not safe if they get separated. Worst part is, I said, you guys are almost there. And they're like, oh good, because we don't know where we're going. And I said, don't you have a map? He goes, no, but about 4 years ago, I went to Dollar Lake. Well, you need a map. You gotta know where you're going. It's not safe not to have a map. And to make matters worse, the gentleman said he was actually hiking with an injury, a herniated disc and something else. So that's why he didn't have a backpack. But just my opinion, not smart to be this far back with no means of communication and a herniated disc. Dry lake, which is not so dry here in the San Gorgonio wilderness. Elevation 9,060 feet, I believe. Maybe it's 9,080. So, great place for a day hike. Check it out. I don't see any ducks on the water right now. I've seen ducks and cranes up here. That right there, San Gorgonio Peak, north facing side. Beautiful. I can actually see a hiker on the other side of the lake. Alright guys, so I'm sitting here, I'm having some lunch, taking a break. Actually waiting for my wife to get a hold of me on the radio. She should be hopefully here pretty soon. But in the meantime, I told you I was going to start showing you my gear. So let's go ahead and break it open. So here's my backpack. It's a Camelback BFM. It's one of the military style backpacks. A little bit heavier, but a lot of room. I mean, you could really pack the gear in here. I've got, like I said, you're going to see that I have nothing, no tent, no sleeping bag, no nothing. But let's go ahead and break it down to pretty much the essentials. You know, my eyeglasses for the nighttime, nothing serious. First aid kit, you need that. Moleskin in there is more important than anything else, but I'm actually pretty good with my hiking boots. I've got a lighter and a signal mirror. This is one of those day-night signal mirrors, so probably be easier with the camera down. Clear on one side, red on the other. I've actually never tried it at night. Maybe tonight I'll actually give it a try. That. Got my lighter. You never know, especially up here if you are lost. You know, you can build yourself a fire in an emergency situation. So, you know, if it was necessary, but not 100% right now. Fire starter, some matches, ibuprofens if you get a headache or something like that. Sunblock, which I actually got to reapply here pretty soon. That's part of in my kit right there. Keys in my wallet right here. I always like to carry these things. hot hands. They're air activated, so might need these tonight since the temperatures are going to be out in the 40s, down into the 40s. Keys in my wallet in there. You saw my roll-up J-pull. I keep it in this top zipper right here. Also carry a hunter orange safety vest. I do come back here during hunting season, so I do wear this to be seen by hunters. I've seen hunters back here and I've heard gunshots, so it's good to have something like that. For my radio, I always carry an extra battery, so I'm probably 3/4 of the way through that battery, so I still got plenty of battery. I won't need to open that one up till later. And that's it for that pocket. Come up on the side here, headlamp, extra batteries. I actually carry 2 sets with me just because, and the fact that these batteries, these headlamps with the so high lumens, like this one's like 160 lumens or something like that, it could drain the battery relatively quickly. Got here 100 feet of bright orange paracord. I'll probably be using this tonight when I hang my food up, and I'm going to do that as a precautionary measure because there was a couple of bears in camp this morning, a mama bear and 2 cubs. Coming over to this side here, I've got a pair of work gloves and a little mini sharpener. I hardly ever use these things, but when I have to, I'd rather tear my gloves up than my hands if I have to scramble up the side of the hill, or depending on where I'm going and what I'm doing. So that's part of that. My Camelback right now is only about half full, so in a little bit I'm actually going to go up the creek over here and filter and get some more water for me for the remainder of the trip. Now, getting in to the big portion of the backpack. That's my antenna. Like I said, you can fold it up into a little knot. So, getting into the big portion of my backpack. I've got here water filter. Carry a bug net with me. And the all-important trash bags. You've got to have these trash bags. Many reasons to have those trash bags. Alright guys, getting back to my backpack here. I'll show you what else I carry. Got Frog Togs rain gear. It's a jacket and pants. Not too heavy, mildly lightweight, pretty durable. Price, you can't beat these. You can get these at any outdoor store for about 20 bucks. But I've been in rain and snow with these. They work really good. And definite one of my essentials in here in my bag, I carry an extra pair of socks, a windproof beanie, and a pair of gloves. Might have to utilize these tonight, all really depending on the weather. And one of my, your basic essentials, gotta have the TP. TP is important. You don't want to get caught out here, have to do number 2, and have to rely on rocks and leaves. That don't do as good as a job as TP. Just make sure to do it right. And as far as what my shelter will be tonight, this is an Adventure Medical Kits Ultralight Emergency Bivy Sack. You can obviously see the size, comparison size, about the size of my iPhone, width-wise, almost about the same. But I've never opened it, never used it, and this is what I'm going to rely on tonight to show you guys why it's important to be equipped when you're out here in the backcountry if you have to spend the night. It's a huge deal. It's surprising how many people you run into that don't have enough gear. But a few basic essentials will get you through the night. You're not going to sleep like a log or sleep comfortably. You're going to survive. So it's going to be a night of survival. It's only 2:30, so we got a long ways to go. I've been talking to a local trail ranger that's actually spending the night not too far from me, and he actually knows what I'm doing, and he thinks it's kind of a cool idea. But I am going to pack up my food, head about 50 or 60 yards up the road here, up the trail, and fill up my water. I'm running a little low on water, but that's expected, so I'm going to fill up my water and think about what I'm going to do next. So until next time, I'll talk to you guys. So here I am at Lodgepole Springs over here up in Dry Lake, and currently filling up my Nalgene right there. And I'm going to fill up my Nalgene, got some Gatorade powder, and fill up my Camelback. It'll last me maybe the rest of the night, I'm not sure, but I am going to go do a little exploring after I do this. It's going to take a little bit. The creek itself, spring, isn't flowing all that much, but I've got a decent little spot right here that's slowly but surely filling up my 32-ounce Sawyer bag. So take me probably about 10 or 15 minutes to top off my water, and before I actually think about heading up that, except I'm going to go that way with it and try to maybe hit a peak. I'm not sure. See how I feel. So I've made pretty much rock scrambled a good portion of this. Got to be careful of your footing. Definitely don't want to step on these logs. That could mean disaster, and you'd really be trying to survive with a busted ankle or blowing out kneecap. But I ain't gonna go any further. In fact, I'm gonna go down that way, I think, and head back down and just kind of go toward camp and hang out around that area and kind of get ready. It's getting late. It's like 4:30, 4:45, and in all honesty, I am getting hungry, and my food's over at camp, so see what I got and have a little bite to eat before it gets late. And sunset's like right around 7:45, so we've got a couple hours before sunset. I just want to make sure I'm down and over there. I don't want to be scrambling in the dark, and I tell you really get screwed sometimes, so yeah, not gonna do that. Well, that was kind of cool. I haven't headed down yet. I'm still up on this little ridge line a couple hundred feet above Dry Lake, but I decided to turn on the HT and called out on the Big Bear repeater, and I actually talked to a gentleman at Catalina Island. He's able to hit the Big Bear repeater on his 5-watt HT with just a basic antenna and nothing fancy, kind of similar to what I've got, maybe a Black Diamond or something like that. But yeah, a QSO with the gentleman on Catalina Island, and here I am in the San Gorgonio wilderness. That just shows you the capabilities of how these repeaters work and why, ham radio is an awesome tool to have in the backcountry. I wasn't expecting to talk to somebody on an island, 40, 50 miles, 40 miles, 30 miles. I don't know how far Catalina Island is off the coast, but that's 5 watts. Now imagine what you could do if you had 10 watts, 50 watts, 80 watts, if you have one of the bigger units. But yeah, 5 watts. I was talking to somebody on Catalina Island for a couple of minutes. Pretty cool stuff. So now, for sure, this time, I'm heading back down. I'm getting a little hungry. I need to eat. This is survival and so time to put some food. So I'm back on solid ground. Show you what I came down. I just came down that. Relatively steep, one step at a time. It was loose, but it wasn't that bad. So back here at the lake, Dry Lake, which is full of water. Temperature's dropping. Don't know what it is right this second. I can take a look. 69 degrees. So it's starting to get down there. Sunrise is at 7:40 this morning. That was 22 degree slope according to my watch. So kind of cool little feature. I don't know if you could see it, But you can kind of see where I set up camp, well, where my makeshift camp is going to be, that I'm at Dry Lake. And the loop that I've gone around Dry Lake, I don't know how good that's coming into the camera. But yeah, so now I'm just going to take a cruise around the lake. Sorry about that. I'm going to take a cruise around the lake. I can see people walking around. It looks like a couple people are actually playing in the water. So, going to check things out. Talk to you guys later. So, I'm back to my little camp spot. I'm going to do a little open area right here. Check things out. I'm going to move my bear bag later. I just kind of did it to claim my spot. There's a few campers around me, but not too many. Charging my phone just to get a little bit of an extra charge on there. I'm going to be charging my GoPro here pretty soon. But yeah, went around the lake, saw some frogs. Went up on a ridge line, played the ham radio for a little bit. That was cool. Came back because I was starting to get hungry, and I figured, you know, it's already 5:20-ish. So gonna hang out here and keep myself busy and occupied, and eat something in a little bit. I don't want to eat too early. That means I'll just get hungry. And I've got one peanut butter sandwich left. Usually on a typical day hike, I'll take that peanut butter sandwich and I'll eat it going back down over by the creek. Got some beef jerky, a couple of power bars. So I've got some food with me. You know, those who've hiked with me know that I like to eat. So I bring snacks. You know, I had a candy bar, that was cool. A couple of Reese's peanut butter cups. That's one of my treats back here. So yeah, I'm just gonna hang here, charge the GoPro up a little bit because I don't know how the night's gonna go, and I might do some recording here tonight. And I've got kind of an open spot. If you could see above the tree line, all the trees are alive next to me, so that's definitely a good sign. But depending on how I sleep tonight, I'm gonna have a bird's eye view of the meteor shower, and I doubt I'll be able to get anything on video, but it's gonna be really cool to watch. Well, I'll come back to you guys later. Okay, so here's the map, kind of give you an idea where I started. There it's a South Fork Trail. I don't know if it's 100% in focus or not, but came down that, got into the wilderness boundary, crossed over, you see Dry Lake right there, and right there, Dry Lake Camp. That's exactly where I'm at, about 6 miles back. So that's what I traveled today, coming up here in the Sangre Wilderness. Alright guys, something I wanted to run by some ham radio stuff, and that is called the Wilderness Protocol. And I stumbled on this about a year or so ago, give or take. I found it online actually. A friend of mine, Jerry KG6HQD, he posted about it, so I want to do a post myself and talk about it a little bit more. But what it is the Wilderness Protocol is a procedure that ham radio operators need to get used to doing, especially those traveling here in the backcountry. But when you're out of range of VHF or UHF repeaters and your cell phone don't work, kind of like mine right now, my cell phone's just simply good enough to take pictures, is a series of broadcasts on the 2-meter national calling frequency, which is 146.520 megahertz. But you don't want to do it constantly because that's going to kill your battery. What you want to do is, to save your battery, is do your transmissions for a 5-minute period during a certain window. And that window starts at 0700, which is 7 a.m. till 10 p.m. So at 7 a.m. I'm going to get on 146.520, transmit my location, and listen out under the wilderness protocol, and you're going to monitor for 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, turn your radio off, keep on hiking, and then 3 hours later, 10 p.m., do the same thing. And turn on your radio, open up the squelch, and call out on 5.2 and to say that you're monitoring under the wilderness protocol and you're in a specific location. Because there is that chance that another ham radio operator needs help. And you could be the link that helps the other operator, and that you could be closer to a repeater than the other guy is. So you're calling out notifies the other guy. He gives you his location as best as possible. Hopefully he has a GPS or something to that effect that he can tell you he's at so-and-so coordinates. And you can get, if you're in repeater range or just get up on a ridge line to get yourself in repeater range, you could be the link to call for help, to get that ham radio operator the help he needs. So yeah, it continues from 7 to 7:05, 10, 10:05, 1, 1:05, 4, 4:05, and so on up until 10 p.m. And yeah, you know, we need to get more people on this frequency to okay, so it's about an hour and a half till sunset. It's 6:30, actually less than that. Sunset's supposed to be around 7:40 tonight, but looking at the ridge line, it's going to be sooner, at least on this side. It's going to start getting dark about 45 more minutes before the sun passes over or drops down below the mountaintop right there. So I am getting hungry. And like I said, I didn't bring a stove. I did not bring dehydrated food, extra food, big old steak, cheeseburger, french fries, nothing from In-N-Out. I've got just a couple of things left. I'm going to go ahead and show you. So here it is. Peanut butter sandwich. Got some goo, some powders for Gatorade, 3 power bars, some pretzels, and a little bit of jerky left. So usually by about this time I am done, off trail, at home or headed home by now, depending on the pace of my day, who I'm with, and where I'm going. So I would be pretty much on my way to go get a bite to eat, or my wife would have dinner waiting for me so I could chow down when I get home. But I'm on a day hike, and I got stuck, and I have to spend the night now. So weather's doing okay. It's about 62 degrees. It's actually quite comfortable right now, no complaints. And I'm gonna eat my sandwich, maybe half of it, I don't know, because I know I'm gonna be hungry in the morning, and it's gonna be tough to wake up. Well, not necessarily wake up. I don't think I'm gonna be getting that much sleep, but it's gonna be tough to not have my morning cup of coffee. I'm going to have to wait till I get off the mountain before I can stop to have a morning cup of coffee. So I'm going to eat a little bit of food, get something in my system, then maybe walk down to the lake again to watch the sun drop over the hillside, and we'll go from there. I'll talk to you guys later. So it's almost 7 o'clock, about 40 more minutes till official sunset. But it's going to get darker here a little sooner. It's maybe 15-20 minutes away before the sun drops over the mountain over there. But starting to get chilly. Currently 61 degrees. Drop the sleeves, put the jacket on. This is my Columbia fleece jacket. I just got my face shield on right now just to kind of keep my head a little warm. It's not too cold, but I'm comfortable right now, so kind of wait it out and go from there. I'm going to go over by the lake and watch the sun drop over the hill, and around I think 7:30 to 8 o'clock my wife Susan might be calling me on the repeater just to kind of see how I'm doing. So just kind of go from there. So The sun is setting, or at least dropping below the ridgeline here in the next couple of minutes. I'm going to walk down to the water's edge and check it out. Like I said, it is getting a little chilly, so got my one layer on. I'll put my beanie on probably later, but yeah, check it out. So yeah, haven't got the emergency bevy out yet. Maybe I will in the next half hour or so. But I'm just going to kick it here and enjoy the peace and quiet. It's actually kind of nice. So, I don't know how well you can see this, but I just put my headlamp on top of the GoPro to kind of show you what I see right now, or what little I could see. I did get this out, I've opened it up. I've decided to take my boots off because I'm going to try to reuse this. Can't guarantee it. My wife wants me to reuse it, but if it's a one-time use, it's a one-time use. I'm going to go ahead and get in it right now and hopefully stay warm. But I got in semi-comfortable position. My feet are practically almost all the way to the bottom. Probably can't see that in the dark, but so far so good, even though I got one arm hanging out. Kind of nice. It's Velcro, and there's Velcro all the way down it on my left hand side, so it's kind of universal. I figured if I have to rip it open to get out, I can rip it open and get out. But I'll see how it goes with my shoes off. I'm actually, if I don't warm up, I feel like I'm going to put my second pair of socks on, and I'm going to lay here and try to fall asleep, I guess. You know, I got my head up against this log. Kind of a, you know, don't really normally do that, but that's about the best comfortable position. It's still about 54 degrees. It has dropped a couple more degrees, but it's not too bad. And I'll get back with you later. I don't know how this is going to go, so it's a learning experience. This is why you need to be prepared in the backcountry. So, it's only 9 o'clock. It's 42 degrees. I'm surprisingly comfortable as far as temperature goes. My feet are warm, my hands are warm, and I don't even have my gloves on yet. It's not the greatest feeling putting my head on a log, but I'm in a semi-comfortable position. I was actually feeling tired and almost to the point of dozing off, and then I've heard two different sounds. One of them was right behind me, and it almost, granted I don't know if I was asleep or not, but it sounded like a small grunt. I could be wrong, could just have been my imagination, but then I heard something fly over the top of me too. And that was kind of an odd sound because I don't recall hearing that one before. But other than that, I've been here for like I said, an hour-ish, give or take. And the stars sure are beautiful. Even though the moon is still out, I could see quite a bit. So kind of wait and see how things roll. Talk to you guys later. Alright, so it's about 11:30, 11:45, 38 degrees, I had to do some repositioning. I'm actually still quite comfortable. Starting to get a little cold, but not too bad. I did finally break out the gloves, and I've moved around a lot, so I'm going to try to reposition myself, but I still have found it warmer to lay completely flat versus being up in the breeze. But it's gonna be a long night. It's only 11:30. Sunrise ain't till 6. See you guys. Well, it's about 1:15, and it's 35 degrees. It's a little chilly. Can't really sleep. My upper body's actually okay. My feet are cold, so I'm gonna get my second pair of socks out and my hot hands and put them in. So I just got my second pair of socks out, and I got my hot hands, those little air-activated hand warmers. I put them in my socks. Totally feel the difference already. They've only been in there for about 2 or 3 minutes and my toes are warming up. So I'm jumping back into my bivy sack to wait this out. I'll see you guys in a little while. So it's 2:30 in the morning. I took care of my cold feet problem. Doubled up on the socks and put the hot hands in my socks. Now my feet are actually comfortable. I'm actually warm just laying here flat on the ground. I'm using my rain jacket as a pillow, and I just happened to look up, and the Persuades meteor shower is going on. This is cool. I have never seen it from this altitude. One of the coolest things I think I've ever seen. There's so many, it's not even funny. I wish I could show you, but I can't. Hopefully you can see it wherever you're at. See you later. Well, I made it through the night. A few minutes after 6. It's 33 degrees. It's chilly. A little chilly. I think from just being tired and exhausted from not sleeping well. About 4 o'clock, 4:30, I was actually able to sleep some. Yep. But it wasn't much, and I slept light. I could use a cup of coffee right about now. So, this system works. There it is. Don't know if I'll be able to reuse it or not. I killed an ant. I probably killed a couple of ants rolling around on this ground. That was probably one of the hardest nights I've ever had camping. That was tough. But it goes to show why you need to be prepared when you're out on a day hike for whatever reason you do have to spend the night. It's chilly. Well guys, I'm finally hiking out. It's still pretty cold, but I'm moving and I'm warmed up. It was a tough night last night. Didn't hear, or actually I didn't see any wildlife. I was hoping to, other than that one deer right at sunset. But I'm gonna start heading down and try not to slip, and kind of go from there. See you guys later. there's something else I wanted to add to this experience as far as things to do while you're hiking or even backpacking, and that is every mile or so, stop for a quick second, minute or so, turn around and look behind you, because what you see in front of you is not what you see behind you. That could actually mean a huge difference whether you're lost or turned around, because it could be a certain way a tree looks on the ground, or a particular rock formation, even a certain bush. It's always going to look different going down than it is going up. So always stop, look behind you, because what you see behind you is not what you see in front of you. That could make a huge difference in whether you think you're on the right trail or right direction. You could eventually get more lost if you just keep on going and kind of not pay attention what you're doing or where you're going, trying to get out. That's just one other thing I wanted to add. I'm doing pretty. And something I forgot to show you guys what I carry on a typical day hike and on overnighters is my protection per se. But carry a Benchmade Steep Country. It's a 3.5-inch blade, full tang. A little pricey, but it's a Benchmade. Something else I carry is the Leatherman Signal. I like the Signal because it's kind of geared toward the outdoorsman. It has a knife sharpener that actually does a good job. I've done it before, used it once or twice. It has an emergency fire striker and an emergency whistle. The striker actually I've started a fire with it in my backyard, testing it out, so it does work. The whistle is relatively loud, and if you didn't have your regular whistle or needed it in a punch, it would work. But then, you know, it's a Leatherman, so you got all the other good features. Hey guys, I'm getting close to the end of the trail, so I just wanted to say thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, maybe even learned something. Please leave your comments in the comment section. Tell me what you would have done differently, what you liked or disliked about what I did, and we could open it up for discussion there. But again, thanks for watching, and I enjoyed making this video even though it was a little tough. Guys, have a nice day.